Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. It's a beautiful day here in Roseburg. I'd like to introduce the next Attorney General for the state of Oregon. That's right, Mr. Michael Cross. Well, I'll tell you what, we don't really get to choose a whole lot of things, but one thing we can do right now here in Oregon is we can choose to get this state back on the right track. And part of that is putting the right person in office. Now, as you know, we've had an Attorney General for 8 years, and that Attorney General has not been doing her job. It's that simple. And I think that Oregonians as a whole are finally coming to grips with that. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Michael Cross. Michael, say hello to the people.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. It's great to be here. And you know what? I am so impressed with the turnout down here in beautiful Roseburg. I can't believe how many folks turned out today. That is totally awesome. Let's... Whoa! All right. We're going to talk about a little bit of law. We're going to talk about what is going on in our state. My goodness, if we got a problem. But you know what? We have the tools, thank goodness, because of our founding fathers. They have given us the tools to clean up our state. So the thing that allows people to protest and demonstrate is a little document known as the Constitutional Bill of Rights. And I will adamantly support your First Amendment rights zealously to do so. And it's that document, that precious document, that allows you to do so. But these people up in Portland that want to burn down the federal courthouse, that assault people, they throw things, they assault police officers, they stab black people. I thought Black Lives Mattered. Apparently not in Portland. What is the real narrative up there? What is going on? But here's the thing. They want to shred the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Why? Well, the Black Lives Matter movement has been hijacked by a Marxist organization that wants to systematically dismantle the United States of America and the state of Oregon. All of us here are the victims of that. And the problem is that the very rights that give them to protest and demonstrate is known, again, as the Constitution and Bill of Rights. They want to shred that document. I served our nation proudly in the United States Air Force, and I'm happy to do so. My grandfather did too, and he was a major in the Army, and he fought Hitler. And I remember sitting on his sofa in his personal photo album looking at mass graves of Jewish people in the ground. I have seen, this was his personal photo album, something that should be in a museum at this point. And I got to tell you, I have seen firsthand what fascism is. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is fascism. And they want to bring fascism to Oregon. So it's social-fascist regime is what they want to bring here. And we have to stop it. And the way we can stop it, because the current Attorney General is allowing it to go on. In fact, she went to the federal judge and tried to force the police officers to not arrest the people that are tearing down our beautiful city, that are burning things, that are assaulting people. Not only no arrests, but the police cannot wear their protective gear when they go in there to do their duty, their job. We're paying them to do a job, and my hat is off to them, and we have to back the blue. If we do not back the blue, we will not have a state much longer. We need law and order in Oregon. We need it back. We need our state back, people, and that's why I'm running to be the next state Attorney General, and I cannot do it without your help, and I need your help, and I need your support to do it. I'm glad to lead the fight, but I can't do it by myself. Basically, the Constitution and Bill of Rights is a contract that limits the power of the elected officials that we put forth to run this republic of ours. All power is bestowed upon us, we the people, given to us by God. Now, the Marxist regime would have us believe that all rights are given by the state, granted by the state. And that's what they believe, but that's not true. We have the greatest government in the world. They are trying to get here. They are trying to get here illegally. And, I mean, why are they wanting to tear something down that people are dying to get in here? We have the most wonderful country in the world. Amen. Thank God. So one of the other things that I want to work on is I want to negotiate with the Department of the Interior, the federal government, and Bureau of Land Management and the Trump administration. The federal government manages 60% of our land, and I would like to see that number shrink some, at least give us a chance to manage more of our own forests, and I want to turn that over to the smaller companies to manage, because we know how to manage our own lands, and when forests are managed properly, we're not going to have these out-of-control forest fires, which are horrible for the environment. The carbon emissions on that's huge. The death to wild animals, it's tragic, it's terrible, and it should not be happening. And if we're running our own forests and managing our own forests, that would be so much better for the environment. But it's also going to provide jobs, because every town in Oregon where we had logging was prevalent, Mill City, Philomath, I mean, you know, the list goes on and on and on and on, is now overtaken with what? Drugs. So we need to get the drugs out of Oregon, and we need to get logging back, we need to get fishing back, we need to get our industries back, and we also have a solution for the homeless problem. We're going to have a homeless task force, and with our plan, in very short order, we will reduce our homeless population in Oregon down to 0. And we will be partnering with nonprofit churches. They're very successful with programs like Celebrate Recovery, different things like that deal with alcohol addiction, drug addictions, things like that. That's going to be the first order of business, because many of those folks have those kind of issues. So we'll take care of that. And then, you know, the trades are screaming for help. We're talking about plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and those are high-paying jobs, and they need people trained to do those kind of jobs. So let's get them trained. Let's involve, you know, if Intel wants to get involved and helping to solve our homeless problem in Portland and Medford and other areas, that would be great. Perhaps Nike would. You know, any manufacturing that wants to help, I would ask them to contact our campaign. It's Michael at michaelcrossfororegon.com, and that's our website, michaelcrossfororegon.com. It works either way, Michael Cross, F-O-R, or the number 4, michaelcrossfororegon.com. So we are at a turning point here, folks. This is it. Right now there's a recall going on against Kate Brown, and if it's not successful, Kate Brown has another 2 years. Can you imagine? This year has been hell, and she's acting outside of the law, folks, and this year has been pure hell. And can you imagine another 2 years under the regime of Kate Brown? I can't even fathom it, honestly. I can't. So there's one thing that can stop Kate Brown, and that is a good attorney general. And that's what I intend to do. If she does not follow the Constitution, if she does not follow the statutes as written and approved by our legislature, I mean, we are supposed to be a nation of law and order, are we not? Laws and so forth. I mean, otherwise there's tyranny and mayhem and riots and chaos and all that stuff. And I will stop that, because right now with the COVID thing, let me tell you what. She's saying that restaurants and bars can't stay open past 10 p.m. So what do we got? We got a smart virus here, so it's like it lays dormant until 10 p.m. Oh, 10 p.m., now I can go out and infect everybody. Well, let me tell you what really happened is the state people talked to these OLCC licensed establishments, and they said, when does your lottery revenue start to slow down? And they said, 10 p.m. Folks, this has nothing, I repeat, nothing to do with a virus. This is all about control. This is about establishing the Marxist order in Oregon and the systematic destruction and takedown of Oregon and its wonderful beauty and jobs and trying to raise a family, and it's terrible. And I will hold her accountable, because under a pandemic or any kind of similar type of a deal, the statute limits her to 28 days. It's ORS. I'll have it on the screen, but the statute limits her to 28 days. And if she needs more than 28 days of a shutdown, I mean, we're at what, 100 day, 120 or something ridiculous? And there's no science backing any of this. She doesn't have the facts, she doesn't have the science, and she doesn't have the law backing her. Nothing. And if she needs more than 28 days, then she needed to get legislative approval, which she failed to do. She didn't even try, well, they did convene, but they didn't talk about that. And the reason they didn't talk about that is because she knew she didn't have the votes. But the businesses are being shuttered. People are losing jobs. Suicides have gone up. Domestic violence cases have gone up. The stress is through the roof. And let me tell you, and I don't have to tell you this, but I'm going to repeat it. Stress affects your health negatively. Wearing that cloth whatever that they call a mask affects your health negatively. You are rebreathing in your carbon dioxide. I talked to somebody, they got an infection on the outer lining of their lung from simply wearing a cloth mask. And these masks, I'm sorry to say, they don't even work. An N95 mask filters down to 0.13 microns, or excuse me, 0.3 microns, and the virus is 0.13. So basically, the virus would have to be almost 3 times the size for the N95 mask for it to filter that. It's not going to work. It's just not. So the fact of the matter is that most of us, like the common cold and the flu, have already gotten exposed to COVID-19. And here's the good news. You are immune. You do not need to wear a mask. You do not need to live in fear, because that affects your body negatively, and you may just get sick from something else anyway. So live life. Be out in the heat. And if you do get it, get HCQ. It costs $20. Did you know that the companies, the pharmaceutical industries, are jumping in on this like rabid dogs? And they can smell the blood, and the blood in this case is money, a lot of money, because these pills that they're these treatments that they want to have through the pharmaceutical companies, as opposed to HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, is $20. Theirs is like $900 a pill, and you have to take 10 pills or something like that. And they are chomping at the bit, and they want that approval to distribute that expensive medicine, which nobody can afford anyway. It's terrible. So that's about all I had. I'll just finish up with, the current Attorney General, she said in her voter's guide and various statements and promises to we the people that what she was going to do, she was going to reduce crimes against children. She was going to reduce domestic violence. She was going to reduce these crimes. But I got to tell you, since she took office, child abuse is up 40%. 40%. Forcible rape is up 60%. Forcible rape is up 60% since that woman took office. Clearly, she's not doing her job. She needs to be fired. She needs to be told, shown the door, and let's clean up Oregon, get our jobs back, and get some law and order going, and let's clean up Portland, and let's do this, people, because I love this state, and I love this country, and I swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. I never disavowed that oath, and let's do this, people. I love all you guys. Take care. God bless you. Godspeed. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cross. I've got to turn back on, I think. All right. Thank you, Mr. Cross. Really appreciate it. It's good to hear all that. I'm really looking forward to see what you're going to do. All right. Outstanding.